to Cooperville.
It's a Tuesday and we're getting things rolling here. Cooperville Live, welcome. Mama Joe's in the house. Joe's in the house. Blueberry season. I do fancy me some blueberries. Here's the thing with blueberries, though. Now, they come in those little containers, like if you get them at the store. I will nonchalantly pound down a whole thing of blueberries and then want more. That's my dilemma. But I get it. Picking a gallon of berries off your 3 plants. That's a lot of blueberries. Joe, I'll have to connect with you on the berries of blue. Welcome to the show. A very happy Tuesday. 2 pies already made. Woo! Things are getting done. Let's go. I want some blueberry pie. Namaste. Welcome to the show. 3 gallons of blueberries. That's impressive. I hope you are all doing well. Another hot day here in the Chippewa Valley. We get some reprieve tomorrow, I guess. It's going to be like in the 70s. 86 degrees and humid AF right now. Woo! It's you walk outside and you just all sticky. You just sweat out the sin without any effort. Let's pay the bills. Our fine sponsors, of course, CoopervilleClothing.com. The Nope Collection is the dope collection. You need it in your life. There's the Ope life, and then there's the Nope life, and you live the Nope life. And a friendly reminder, we do have new items coming up Friday morning at 8 a.m. Brand new stuff hitting Cooperville Clothing. Make sure you check it out. Ladies, we got the stuff for you. It's Racerbacks. That's Nicole's favorite thing in the world right there. Is our American Paint Military Green Crop hoodie. Favorite thing in the world right there. She like it. Friday morning, 8 a.m. Brand new stuff. Hitting hard at CoopervilleClothing.com. Please go and check it out. We got a bunch of stuff and more growing all the time. I will say, if you're a yogi, or what did we decide? We decided it was alt yogi. If you're an alt yogi, you're going to love Friday's drops. Nicole had a heavy hand in our design for our new stuff that's coming out on Friday, so make sure that you are a part of that. 8 a.m. at CoopervilleClothing.com. Also, Captain Coop's Beard Company. Riverfest, August 14th. We're going to be down at Riverfest in Chippewa Falls with stuff on site. But, of course, this is available wherever you are. Beard oils, beard balms, beard butters for your bearded brethren, and, of course, apparel as well, because that's what we do. Check out CaptainCoops.com and our friends at Midwest Meals. Meal prep, no mas. No mas on the meal prep. Go to MidwestMeals.com, wherever you are. Don't let the name Midwest scare you off, because Midwest Meals ships nationwide. 16 signature healthy meals. You can build your own. They got protein by the pound. All the things to keep you svelte and feeling good about what you're putting in your body. And use the promo code Cooper at checkout, and you get 10% off your first order at MidwestMeals.com. You get your order in by Friday. They ship nationwide on Monday, so you got your meals taken care of for the week. All good stuff, all healthy stuff. We did Taco Tuesday for lunch, those lean turkey tacos with the mango habanero salsa from my friends at Chip Magnet Salsa. Good stuff. MidwestMeals.com is the website that you can go and check out for yourself. Cooper, again, is the promo code at checkout for that 10% off. What's going on in the chat? People chatting it up today. Anyone else going to see the Joe Stam Band on August 7th? I can't raise my hand that high because it goes out of frame. We are going. We're making the trip to see Joe Stam, the Joe Stam Band, Saturday, August 7th in Cameron, right? I think the show's in Cameron. It's a free show. Joe Stam was at Country Fest. Joe Stam was on the show after Country Fest. We're going to make the trip up to see him on August 7th. So, yes, see Joe. We will be going to see Joe Stam on August 7th. Mark your calendars. Thank you, Megan, for liking the stream. Appreciate that. Good stuff. And sharing the stream as well. A lot of people sharing the stream today, so that's good. Help spread the word. We're doing good things here most of the time. It was a big day today. It was a big day. Jeff Bezos got shot into space. Super cool. Like, I'm all about the space race. Obviously, Elon and Branson, and now you had Bezos. Anybody notice anything strange about the shape of the rocket ship? Maybe it was just me. Thank you, Megan, for sharing the stream. Like, I get like the 60s, the space race, the rockets, Apollo. It's the anniversary of Apollo 11, I think, today, too. Like, I get it. Aerodynamics. But nothing looked more phallic than that thing on TV today. I wasn't the only one. That was like trending on Twitter. Like this, we're still here? This is what we're doing? It was odd. But it just goes to show you. You can be anything you want to be if you have $11 bazillion. Anything you want to be. I'll be an astronaut. All right. Cool. First, invent Amazon, 1-day shipping, and you can go to space. I think it works out well for everybody. But I'm all about the space race. The more the merrier, you know? As soon as we colonize Mars, I feel like things will get better. Thank you, Oliver, for liking the stream. Appreciate it. As you know, you can comment in the comments wherever you're watching, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, if you're on Facebook, wherever you're at, you can comment in the comments, ask questions. Garrett Shultz is on the show. He's hanging out in the green room. We're going to bring him in just a bit. Again, one of my Instagram discoveries of new music. It's become my hub. Nobody really, everybody goes like to Spotify, which is great, or Amazon Music or Apple Music, and discovers a new playlist and discovers a new artist. Me, I apparently spend a lot of time scrolling through Instagram. I'm like, oh, look, somebody's meal. Oh, look, a rocket ship. Huh? Oh, clip of a song. Like this. So I'm jamming through Instagram, and the song Blue Collar Ways, actually a video clip of Blue Collar Ways pops up into my Instagram feed. I'm like, this fella needs to be on the show. Anybody who shaves the Dale Earnhardt 3 into the side of their head for the sake of a music video must be a part of the program. Joe's already checking out Garrett Shultz on Spotify. What are you watching him on? He's jamming the tunes, watching the show. Dude's making things happen. So we're going to talk to Mr. Garrett Shultz. Looks like he's ready. He's ready to hang out and jump on board. There he is. Look at this fella. How are you doing, sir?
Good. Can you see me and hear me? Is this all right?
I see you. I hear you. And it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for agreeing to this. I promise it will be painless.
Coop, thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate this. This is going to be a great time, brother.
Absolutely, man. First off, the song Blue Collar Ways, I love it. I love the song itself. The music video is like next level stuff. I'm your dedication to the cause, man, is and we got guest appearances on the show.
Sorry,
with a shirtless man.
So here, let me show you. This is so everybody's just getting off work, so we're down in the basement. This is our workout room.
Nice.
And here, I used to own a gym, and we got some of our stuff from it, and so it's now like workout time right now. That's my buddy Liam. He's ready to get sweaty. But anyway,
Liam's ready to throw some weight around. I like that. That's a jam, man.
Oh yeah, man. Look at you. You're pretty fit too, brother. I see you, and you're all tatted up. You're looking good, dude.
Dude, I started running like 3 or 4 years ago, and I always told myself, I played football in high school, and I was blessed with really like apparently good metabolism until I hit like 30, and then things went awry. It went bad.
That's about right.
And then, but I always said, I started working out. I started doing like home workout videos and stuff. But I always said, like, running is just not my thing. Like, if you see me running, you better run with me because there's scary things behind me that are chasing me.
Yeah.
But then I started running, and that's just kind of it keeps me in the position I want to be, which is upright most of the time.
Man, yeah, and you know what? It's such a nice feeling sometimes. It's always for me. I don't run very often, but when I did, man, it was always that first mile that it took. Once you get off that first mile, then you're like, all right, how long are we doing this thing? You know?
Yeah, they say the first mile is a liar. They say the first mile, it's all lies.
Oh, for sure. But dude, thank you so much on the compliments for Blue Collar Ways. That was such a fun music video, and it's the song means honestly something completely different than what we made the video out to be. But you only get what, like one chance to try and do this artist thing. So like you want to make sure you're representing yourself for who you truly are. And at the core of it, man, we all just love to have fun and we're just boys, and we're just trying to have some fun and a good time. And that's kind of when it said Blue Collar Ways, we took the video a different way of having some fun. Yeah.
No, man, it's a great watch for those a lot of people are joining in the chat. Make sure you guys go check out Blue Collar Ways, the videos on YouTube. It's a great story. I mean, I love every aspect of it. The band's involved. Did you actually? Yeah. You actually did carve the 3 into the side of your head? Was that was legit?
Yeah.
That's dedication, man. I like that dedication.
It was kind of funny because we pretty much the whole or it was the haircutting scene.
Yeah.
The whole haircutting scene, man. We were all like laughing because our friend Tyler, who's another artist that opens up for us around here, dude, he did. I don't know if you heard his voice. He was Ducky Hatfield.
Yep,
Ducky Hatfield, and his voice when he did that, we must have pissed ourselves laughing at least 10 times before we even got close to it. We're like, how the hell? He's been saving it. And he's just like, my time to shine. And he did, man. So, and he's holding the trimmers, and he's like, basically it's one shot. You get one chance at it. So luckily we got it. I'm sitting there like, I'm biting my teeth, closing my eyes so I don't laugh, because if I look at him or anybody, I'm laughing. It was a really fun time.
Yeah, because if he screws up, like you got to, unless it turns into an 8, they're like, well, I guess we're going junior then. Otherwise you got to rewrite that whole part of the video. Like, well, what number does this represent? Like, I'm not sure it's a number now. You got to just find some sort of symbology there. But no, the video is great. But I want to take you back and kind of let you, tell your story, because it's, you weren't like out the gate music. You know what I mean? Like I have a lot of artists on the show, and they talk about, and I have some young artists on here, which I always love, because they're like, back when I was, 13, which was like 5 years ago, and I'm like, wait, what? But they're so like right out the chutes, man. Their music is going to be their thing. But you had like this different path. Like music was like always, it was always riding in the back of the truck. You were driving the truck. Music was always in the back until one day it kind of all coagulated into one thing, which started the music thing for you. But tell me about growing up in Central PA and kind of how music, I'm sure, was involved in your life, but not to the extent that it is now.
Yeah. There's a long version and there's a short version. Basically, I'll just go on to it, and well, I don't know. Sometimes these shows, like the interview shows, are weird sometimes. Like on the radio, you have seconds, you know. Yeah. But these are nice where you can kind of lay back and really talk.
We got all the time in the world, man. We got all the time in the world.
Excellent. I see my buddy Liam, and actually Walker, my guitarist, Matt. He's right here. Oliver, our drummer, he's supposed to be coming in a minute, but they're all sitting down here. They're just giving me goofy eyes off screen. I'm like, but yeah, growing up, music really wasn't something in my life. My dad, huge Southern rock fan, and AC/DC fan. My mom listened to anything, but something like older pop. I wouldn't even know what you call it, like that Seal or that like Santana type music, like whatever, that soft rock, like poppy stuff, whatever we call it. And I just jammed to it all until I got into my own groove, which is Backstreet Boys apparently. And I think what it was is that once I saw Backstreet Boys and the girls that like went crazy over them, I was like, what? And there's this like Chuck E. Cheese like place. It wasn't Chuck E. Cheese. It was called DZ Discovery Zone. And I remember playing there, and they had karaoke, and I would sing to the girls there. So that was like the start of my singing. Oh my God. Are you coming out like that? So Liam and I was in the military before. Yeah. I know they're distracting, man.
No, it's all good, man.
This is professional, Liam.
Well, hey, let's not throw the word professional out here too quickly. This is
Liam.
Kind of
oh man, here I'm gonna turn the camera real quick.
Yes, sir.
This is Liam.
That jacket is money right there. That's a money jacket.
Oh yeah. What? He said this is the only thing on.
We almost got banned. We almost got banned on YouTube right there. Almost happened.
What was that? That's the trench coat for the Blues. Yeah. Anyway, so I never really like could play guitar. I knew a few chords every now and then, just like almost anybody. Like if they're like, hey, play a song. I could play one song, kind of, up until I was like 18. Then I went out to play hockey. I played juniors. You're from Wisconsin, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So are you familiar with like the Green Bay Gamblers or anybody out there?
Seen them play at the Resch Center over there.
Yeah. So they're at the top junior tier in America. It's called the USHL. I played 2 tiers below that, worked my way up and down, but um, basically I went up and I played some hockey all over the place,
Mm.
and it was fun. But I had a guitar with me for some reason, thankfully,
Mm.
and I learned a few more songs to impress a few more girls, really, uh, and it was really just one-on-one stuff. So I didn't have to be. I could be a little shy,
Mm.
and then I got hurt playing hockey. Um, Joined the National Guard, and then during the National Guard, I came back and I opened up a gym. I coached hockey again, and then I went back to school for biochemistry. And
Mm.
all in all, music just kind of pushed me into a good mindset consistently. It kept me in focus. It kind of sparked some creativity, or it was always just a mood lifter or whatever. I could find a song to connect to,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had mentors throughout my hockey career and my military career who always kind of dared you to push yourself out of your boundaries, or like
Mm.
do something that scares you.
Yeah.
And that's really where it started, because I started doing these things where, like, if I knew, in my head, I knew I would survive at the end of it. Not like nothing deadly, but
Right.
you're just scared to do it because you're like either embarrassed, or you're just like you're almost scared of the future because you're thinking, what if?
Right.
It was kind of my cue to just dive in. So I go to these open mics. I see an open mic. I have my buddy. I'm like, hey, can you do this open mic with me? He's like, yeah, sure, man, let's do it. So we do this open mic. It's a place called the Cove, which no longer does music anymore, I don't
Mm.
think. But I did 3 songs. They're like, you get 15 minutes or 3 songs. I did 3 songs in 8 minutes. I sang them so fast. It was just like, bam, 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 bam.
Mm.
It was wild. And if anybody has ever played guitar in front of people for the first time, I think you know what I'm talking about. Uh, Playing and singing, it's a different beast. But I get through that, and I'm like, you know what? That wasn't too bad. Let's try it again. So I keep going back, and I keep going back, and then I have some guys who actually, if have you ever heard of a band? They're actually from Central PA. They're called Small Town Titans.
Rings a bell.
They they did a cover of a Grinch song, and it blew
Yep.
up. And they have some pretty good songs. Um, but anyway, this guy, their singer, Phil, was leading this open mic, and he kind of he wasn't just like, oh, you're the one, you can do it. He was just like, hey, man, I see you're having fun up there, and he just kind of pushed me in the right direction.
Right.
And man, even at that age, I was probably like 22 or 23. Even at that age, that little bit of encouragement from somebody who does it, like,
Mm.
it was so awesome. It led me down a great path, and uh, that little bit made me want to write songs, and then maybe want to come back. And I never thought I would get paid for a gig. I just did it to do it.
Right.
I was doing open mics. I probably, for 1 year, I probably did like 300 open mics, just back. I would go to 2 or 3 open mics a day
Yeah.
if I could. I just loved to play. And man, so I do these open mics. Somebody tells me, I hear 93.5, this radio station. They're like, they have this Nash FM contest, and they're like, enter your song. So I enter my song, and looking back, it was like, looking back at it, I'm like, oh, man, that sounds terrible. But listening to it, or submitting it, it was fun, and it was kind of just right timing. I had a lot of friends still in the area, and I submitted it. We won. Went to Battle of the Bands. This is my second show ever, and my first time playing with the band. And luckily, I had some good friends who, like, they're just like, yeah, let's do this 3 songs again.
Mm.
And they're all originals, which
Ooh.
was crazy, because I was like, let's just do it,
Yeah.
And I must just have had enough friends there or something, because the whole place erupted. It was awesome. And then just kind of snowballed into momentum, like having fun doing this. And then 2 years ago, come September, I'll be doing this 2 years full time. So it's been a crazy, like, 4 years, maybe. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 years that we've been doing this, and just chasing down kind of what feels good or kind of what I'm passionate about. And man, it's a fun ride, you know?
I love how it all started with the Backstreet Boys. I think that really, the Backstreet Boy philosophy of making music, because that actually stems from how they used to write songs in the 80s. 80s bands used to write songs.
Yeah.
They used to come up with a big heavy hitter arena anthem song, and then they come up with a ballad because the ballad got the girls to the show, and the girls to the show brought the guys to the show. Backstreet Boys just did it like, well, we're just going to bring all the girls to the show. We don't need to have the dudes there, and you know, that's what inspired Garrett Shultz to get into music. No, but so when you get to that point, you know, 2 years ago September, that you decide this is going to be my jam. Like, I'm full-time music, make it happen however it works.
Yeah.
Like, are you kind of blinders on to everything else in the outside world? You're just like, hell or high water, we're going to make music, and this is going to be how we make a living. Was there any other, did you kind of push all other distractions out of your peripheral?
Dude, great question, man. I tell these guys not all the time, but like every now and then we reminisce. I remember we were in Nashville. Actually, it was like my second time in Nashville, and we were staying at the Moxie Hotel. Somehow we knew somebody, and it was the owner, Matt. I don't know how we knew him, but we knew him, and he's like, y'all come stay, play at the bar, but you guys can have a room. I'm like, okay, you got it. So we're staying there, and I'm emailing. I just graduated with my biochem degree. I was currently out, I think in May. I was done my contract with the military, and then so everything just kind of lined up, and we're in the summer to where ice hockey is kind of like coming back into the fall full swing. And I was actually coaching juniors, and I moved into a hockey what is it called, hockey basically like the principal, I can't remember, hockey developer. I can't remember what the position was, but basically you oversee all the curriculum of the players. And I'm sitting in the hotel room, and I get an email, and then we get a phone call, and we're talking, and everything was good. It was mutual, but my hockey guys, my GM and my owner, they were like, hey, we can see that, you know, this is taking up a big part of your life. And they're basically like, you can always come back to hockey. Like, hockey's not going anywhere. And if this is something you're passionate in, you should do it. And I'm like, you know, that was just such a blessing. Man, it's, but when that happened, it was kind of like, I'm very low key. Like, I don't need a lot to survive. I probably wear the same 4 pairs of clothes all the time. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'm so simple. And man, but so my bills and stuff, I didn't really have any bills. Everything was paid for, and I was very thankful for that, to try and focus all my energy on this. I would sleep in my car, like, not every day, but like when I would go on like road trips or something, and I would do little solo tours, I would just sleep in my car, just because, like, I don't need to spend it on a hotel. But yeah, everything kind of, kind of like what you said, you put the blinders on, and it's kind of just like, this is what we're doing. You know, this is what we're doing. We're doing 3-hour car rides, no problem, there and back the same day. We're doing 3 shows a day. We're doing whatever. We're doing the booking. We're doing the media. We're doing the graphics. We're doing the music. We're doing it all, because that's the lifestyle. And if you can't do it, you should get out. And that's kind of what I told myself. And man, I've had some great people in my life to come along and kind of support this journey. And yeah, it's been wild. It's not easy. But it's just like anything else. It's work. It's work, just like relationships are work, just like actual work is work. But I'd rather work for myself and kind of make my own rules. And I've always had this phrase of, well, it's not my phrase, but it's it's not the destination, it's the journey. I'm sure you've heard that, right?
Yeah, it's all about the journey. And especially when you're doing something that,
dude,
from the sounds of things, I mean, this is clearly where your passion lies, is in music. I mean, it's gone through its evolution of, you know, of hockey, and then you know, of coaching, and then biochem, just slides its way in there just randomly, like, biochemist. Yeah, I got that nailed down. But when it becomes something that, even though it is work, and there is, I'll call them sacrifices, though it doesn't sound like from your perspective that it's really a sacrifice to understand that you're not staying at the Hilton when you're going on a solo tour. It's easier to save that $130 a night to stay in your car and still be able to get up and do the work that you love to do. And there's things about artistry and about being a musician. It's one thing to go out and to play songs. It's one thing to go out and be an artist and play music. It's another thing to be a songwriter who goes out and plays music. It's like a completely different. I mean, obviously they coexist in the world of music, and especially in the world of country music. But like, when did songwriting become a driving force behind being an artist? Because there's plenty of musicians who can go out and sing and play other people's songs, or have songs fed to them, or listen to a demo, be like, I'm going to cut that one. But to write your own stuff and go in and perform your own stuff is a completely different horse to wrestle. When did that become part of your repertoire as far as songwriting goes?
Dude, I'll be honest. Like, is that Oliver? Hey, Oliver.
Yeah. Oliver in the house.
Hey, Coop says hi.
What's up?
Loop.
Oh, he's coming by.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
He wants to know how you're doing.
Good. I just found out I'm gonna be an uncle again, so good.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
He's having a baby. He's gonna be a dad.
No.
He's got the happiest sister in the world. I'm just kidding. His brother just had a kid. Or no, they're pregnant, or they're having pregnant. But no, dude. I've like I said, I've had some great mentors in my music career early on. This one guy, Ben Garner, I met him super early when we were doing open mics. And he's kind of like a local legend around here, in the music world. He's just a freaking genius when it comes to music. He's awesome. He's got great charisma. So I listen a lot to what he had to say, but I also pay attention to the crowd. And, as far as songwriting goes and playing your own songs, you have to, it's two pieces, right? Because you have to grapple with the fact that, like, all right, not everybody's going to like the song, but you need to get at least good enough data to be like, all right, does this song suck, or am I playing to a different crowd?
Right.
And then, you have to also be honest with yourself and keep writing better music. And, it just kind of happened one song at a time. My first song that I ever released was called Kiss About It. And it was, I don't know, just a fun, I heard, it all came from The Simpsons. On The Simpsons, Bart said something like, why don't you just kiss about it? And I was like, I'm going to write that song. I don't know why. And it just kind of fell like that. I seriously, along the way, I had mentors that are just like, just play your stuff. Like, basically, like, you just got to play your stuff. You can't worry about, if you're good, people are going to like it. And you have to play your stuff to understand. And if you want to do the original artist route, you have to play your stuff. And, that even turned over into when Ollie and I met. He was a drummer for another band, and I stole him. No, I didn't. They didn't have a thing. So he's like, he came to me begging. He's like, can I please play drums for you? And I'm just kidding. No, I was like, hey man, you want to play drums? And he's like, yeah. And we just started playing, and he's like, we need to play more original music. And I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, man, we need to do it. We need to just pound it so that we can get better at playing it and that people know it. Because it's a crazy world right now. If you don't get your stuff out there and you're not trying to be who you want to be, then you're eventually just going to be somebody else, and you're going to go down this road of being a cover band. And there's nothing wrong with a cover band. People need cover bands, but you can't be a cover band if you're trying to be an original artist,
Yeah. No, I love it. I think.
I hope I'm answering your questions.
No,
dude.
yeah, absolutely. I get
Like,
where your head was at with it. It's just it's always an interesting. It's more complex. Thank you, by the way. We had a bunch of people liking the stream. Danielle, thank you. Quincy, thank you. Cassie, thank you. Oliver, a bunch of people jumping on liking the stream.
Oh, thank you.
Popping up on my screen here, but it's people think artistry, like they you watch a musician, you watch, you know, the people that influenced you on a bigger scale, you know, whether it's an artist from Nashville or somebody on CMT or somebody on the radio, and you go, wow, I want to do that. But the element of the songwriting part of it is that original artist, that performing your own songs. I mean, that's what makes it like, oh, it's nope. Yes, the world needs cover bands. I agree with it. They pack the bars around here on Friday nights, but it's, you know, that's your gig. But if you want to be an original artist, that songwriting thing has to be a big aspect of it, and you're knocking it out of the park with things now. So it's September 2019. You're kind of getting things launched off. Life's taking its, you know, you're focused on music. Music's going to be my jam. It's going to be the thing I do. And then 2020 comes, and, you know, things got weird. Things got a little bit strange. Everything shut down, everything locked down. But the Garrett Shultz band decides, to hell with that. We're still going to go out and perform shows. Tell me how you managed in 2020 to do like 100+ shows while everybody else was at home on Instagram doing acoustic stuff from their garage.
Dude, honestly, well, I'll get to it later, but so I was actually living in Nashville before this all happened. And I was like, you know, if I'm going to try, I might as well try. I had this idea of what I really wanted to do, and Nashville just wasn't in the cards. How do I say this? To me, Nashville has a place, and it has a calling for some people. And right now, Nashville is not our place. I don't feel I'll say that without bashing Nashville or anything, we want to bet on ourselves. We want to put in the work. We want to spend the time and money, because a lot of people go down to Nashville wanting people to spend time and money on them and discover them or whatever. And luckily I'm old. I was older when I got into the game, and I'm like, man, I'd rather just spend my time and my money on us, developing us, instead of wishing somebody could, you know, the chances are very likely both cases. So why not just stay here, develop a crowd and a fan base here, and try and do our thing. But anyway, so we went down to Nashville. It was okay. And fortunately or unfortunately, coronavirus happened, and it was in March and everything shut down. We were in Maryland playing a show with a guy named Sam Grow, who was awesome. And we're doing a show with him. It was St. Patrick's Day. And the bar owner is like, we have these regulations, and it's like, I think we got to do it. So that was the last weekend of 2020 for a minute. And then I'm like, I was kind of being optimistic. I was like, man, it's not going to take long, like a few weeks here and there, and then we'll start getting back up. And then I'm like, yeah, a month or two, we'll start getting back up. And then I'm like, we're not getting it. We're not going back into live venues for a minute. So, you know, I actually talked to Oliver. we met up on a bike ride. I was riding a motorcycle, and we met up, and I was like, hey man, I got this idea. I want to cut up an enclosed trailer, like a box trailer, and I want to play out of it. And he's like, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. No, he's like, he didn't really care. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And I'm like, that's fine, man, let's do it. So I get the trailer, we get it cut open. We played out of that thing the whole summer. And actually, since Matt's looking this way, actually last year, so I had a guitar player and a bass player in 2019, rolling in 2020, and you know, they oh man, they were so good. They're very, very good. And then when this thing hit, they kind of had to move back home just like everybody else. And I'm like, all right. So they ended up not being able to pursue the band anymore. I'm like, totally get it. No hard feelings. And Matt was thankfully there, killed it. I was like, hey man, how's the rest of your summer look? He's like, it's good. It's coronavirus. Nothing's happening. So I'm like, all right, well, everything's happening. So we took that thing like everywhere. We were booked like pretty solid every weekend. A lot of times 2 or 3, if not 4 shows a weekend, which I'm very thankful for. It made us grow tighter. And it just made me, at some parts, it was truly the work. It was awesome. Like at some points, I hated it. Like we all hated it. We were so busy. We were just like, at that time, we had to drive ourselves, long drives, not always places to stay. Like things are just like, up in the air a lot, but that's like the sacrifices and the beauty that when you look back on, you're like, it's kind of like being in the military. You're like, man, that sucked. But when you look back in it, you're like, you appreciate how much it sucked. Cause now, well, sorry, I'm skipping all around, but anyway, so we go through this long year last year and we're playing a bunch of shows out of this trailer, and we would park that thing in any field that had power, any venue that had a parking lot. It's like, hey man, we got this thing, you want us to play? And they're like, yeah. And man, it was such a good time. And then rolling into this year, we finally had some time to get into the studio and record, and we have 4 songs recorded. We released 2. We have a ton of songs. I wrote so much last year. Yeah. Some songs I'm really excited to release, but Always Be was our first one out Mother's Day. And then J-Ball did the video on that one as well as Blue Collar Ways, and man, he kills it too. And we haven't even released Blue Collar Ways like on social media or anything, just YouTube. Yeah. But man, when it hits Facebook and stuff, we have really seen the spike there. So I'm excited to do that eventually. But yeah, like I was saying, we put on this work, sacrifices, and it sucked at the time. But now when was it? I got us a bus in like May or something. We gutted it, put bunks in it, put chairs and stuff in it. Just really, really gritty stuff, just like making it legit. Like, this is our home. This is our bus. We went down to Florida and back with that thing. Nice. And already since May till now, we've had so many shows in that thing. And then we just recently got an RV. Nice. So I don't know if this is what it feels like to make it, but it's just fun, man. Like, we're just living a dream. And we just got a big trailer, man. Yeah, this is cool. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. No, I have this thing where I just ramble and I reminisce a lot. That's what I do. Man. I reminisce, trying to remember like all the cool things that you go through. Again, it's work. If anybody's listening, don't forget, this is work. Booking shows. It doesn't matter if I'm at a show and I'm back green room or whatever, and somebody's calling me asking, like, I'm picking it up. Or if we're on the way to show, I'm picking it up. Because if you don't play, you don't make money. If you don't make money, you can't play, Yeah. So it's kind of you learn as you go, and man, it's been fun. And yeah, 2 years doing this full time, it's taken us places that I don't think we've ever thought we could get to, but we definitely have some high expectations and some aspirations that we want to climb up to quick.
Well, I think
you got to have us out in Wisconsin, man. You got to have us out for Country Fest.
Dude, man, I tell you what, you come out to Wisconsin and Country Fest, you may never leave. You'd be like, nope, this is home now. We live here. We live in the cornfields of Wisconsin. We play.
Dude, I played for the Gamble. I shouldn't say I played. I practiced with them. Like, they called us up for practice from when I played in Washington. Man, I did love Wisconsin. I love, Midwest is something to love, especially when you're in around the city. Now, when you get too far out, I'm like, I could leave it, But yeah, I love Wisconsin, and I just saw your post on Country Fest and stuff, man. That looked like a really fun time, dude.
For not having anything, I mean, of that magnitude for a year plus, 18 months, to come back at Country Fest and see 25,000 people that are just like, they gave 0 F's, man. They were like, everybody had a great time. And the coolest part is every artist, from the bands playing on the cover band stage to the up and comers to local bands, everybody was like still getting back into the swing of things. So there was moments where, and I did radio for 20 years. I've been involved in music festivals for the last decade plus. So I know when it's festival season, a lot of these bands, they've kicked the dust off the tires. They know what the hell they're doing. There were so many moments I'm like, he's not sure what key they're doing this song in. Like there was a moment like, okay, we're moving. We got to move up a little bit here. But it's so cool just to see that reignition of not just the artist but the fan base that came out to see shows. And I'm super like not even aware of it because I grew up here. I moved down to Madison for a couple of years and I came back up and started radio. But there's like a ton of music festivals around here. They all happen within like the same 2 months. A lot of them are in the places that you like, the middle of nowhere. Country Fest is like cornfield, cornfield farm, silo, bar, obviously. And then giant mecca of 7,000 campsites with 25,000 people in the middle of the country
Those
somewhere.
are the best. The best, man.
We're blessed to have as many places. This thing that's kind of shitty about it is that we don't have a lot of really nice mid to small to mid-level like clubs to play. But we got fairs, festivals. I mean, you name a thing that comes from Wisconsin, there's a cheese curd fest, there is a bratwurst fest, there's like corn fest. We have all the things. Yeah. And there's always live music. So I'm sure we could find you a spot at one of those things, but Country Fest is we'll put it on the things to conversate about next time we have you on the show. Cause
dude, that would be, we would just love to come out and hang with y'all and play. As I always tell people, like, oh man, I'm very excited. Matt, so our guitarist, Matt. So this is my goal. I love rock and roll. I do love country, but like, I love the actual guitarist and like the guys who play the instruments. I want it to shine. And like, I leave these spaces, like when I write the songs, I'm like, okay. And then as we build it, I'm like, I truly just want a shredded solo. And
yes.
Their song, we have the One Always Be song is kind of low key. It was very mild, like, but these other 3 songs, I'm like, Matt, I just want you to rip it up and just shred it. And like we tease it out in the studio and he just kills the solo. It is so good. I love the Blue Collar Way solo. We have another song coming out called In My Blood and Bad. Bad is like, it's just fire from his fingertips. Yeah. He's just playing, man. And I'm really excited because I think it, as fun as we might sound on record, live, man, we sweat it out. We just want to bring the energy and we have so much fun up there. I think that's truly where we shine. I mean, we're no gurus at social media or anything yet. We're trying. But man, when we play live, that's where our passion is.
Dude, I love the live element of it. We had Country Fest, and we actually have like 2 weeks later, we have another big country music festival called Country Jam, which is like, I'm in the middle. Like it's 20 minutes that way and 20 minutes that way to 2 major country music festivals. So for the first time, I think in like 10 years, I went to a music festival without anything to actually do. Like I just went to enjoy it, and it was amazing. We saw, I did the show. I had a guest on the show last Thursday. We went out and saw Chris Jansen and Chris Young back to back.
Yeah.
And I will tell you what. Yeah. Chris Jansen and that band, that's the things you're talking about. There was shredding. He was throwing stuff. Yeah. There was guitar. He did a drum solo that kind of energy in a live show. Yeah. Oh man, we just sat there. We're like, he's pyro away from being a rock and roll show. There, you throw a flame up there, dude. Dude's a rock and roll star.
No, dude, he can play. Like, you're absolutely right. Chris Jansen, honestly, like I kind of started from Luke Bryan. I saw Luke Bryan, and he can really get the crowd moving. And then I saw other artists, and I'm like, man, I love this. But I saw Chris Jansen. Man, that guy, he can put on a live show. It's legit. Like you were saying, he's back and forth all the time. And he does not disappoint. Him and his harmonica he can just. Does he still play the harmonica?
Oh yeah, he had the harmonica up. He brought somebody up from the crowd, and I'm like, that person does not know how to play the harmonica. He didn't, but it sounded great. I'm like, it was an amazing fully energetic. You talk about that rock and roll vibe to it, and I think there are some elements of country that have moved in that direction because, I mean, let's be honest.
Sure.
I mean, Garth started that whole thing with jumping off of stages back in the 90s. He was like, I don't know, I'm just going to jump off stages. I'm going to break guitars. People are going to go, I'm going to play Billy Joel songs. And now, like, there's this rock and roll element to it. Like I said, you add a little pyrotechnics to that, maybe some fireworks after the show.
Dude,
it's amazing, man.
No, I love Chris Janson shows, man. That's the level that, you know, there's a bunch of levels in between where we're at and where he's at, but like, that's the level that you aspire to try and not just play songs, because anybody can play songs, even if they're your songs, but you want to bring a show. You want to bring a performance so that when you're on stage, people are like, I can't get this listened to a song. I need to watch this. And then, man, that's what it's all about.
And that's where when you talk about like growing this organically, is, you know how I talked about, we went and saw Chris Janson, we saw Chris Young, and I told you all about Chris Janson's show.
Yeah.
Because that was freaking memorable. That's how you grow that thing. And I was talking to other people about it, and they were like, yeah, the whole weekend, you know, we had Old Dominion, and Hardy was there, and who else? Sawyer Brown, who's always a consummate entertainer, even though he's like 100. I love that guy. And then John Party. So you have a lot of different elements, a lot of different genres of country. And the one show they're talking about was the show that was like, dude, but did you see the Janson set? And everybody was like just mind blown. So I think I feel that's the kind of energy that Garrett Shultz brings to the stage.
Dude, we're working on it. Actually, they just came over today because we've got some shows coming up we're just prepping for, because we want to change our set a little bit, and basically we always want to make a better show, and so we're going to talk about that tonight. But man, I love Hardy too. I love Hardy live. I mean, no Chris Janson live, but songwriting, man, Hardy can knock it out of the park, dude. He's killing it. I mean, I don't know if you knew, but like those, so like Morgan Wallen, Hardy, Ernest, all those three, they usually have like a little writing session together, and they kill it on songs, man. They're so good. Him and like Ashley Gorley and Josh Thompson. Oh my God, man. I mean, they have so many cuts on Morgan Wallen's new record. Like, they're so good. It's such a crazy world. I always tell people, like, they're like, what's Nashville like? I'm like, at the core of it, there's three sections. There's cover band Broadway. There's songwriting, you know, back listening room, all those other ones at Live Oak. And then you've got the ones who perform those original songs. And man, dude, it's such a crazy balance, but man, the ones that can write their own music and perform and do it well and have a team around them. Like, I don't know if you can, anyway, you had Cody Johnson. So Cody Johnson really built his team up. Like, he's a real independent, true inspiration, man. Yeah. He's awesome to watch, and to hear his story, I almost fell back. To hear his story about how he, you know, started, and then he kind of just developed his whole team, and man, that's such a cool thing. That's true independence. That's what I was talking about. Like, when Nashville calls you instead of you calling Nashville, that's 100%. That's when you know that you're doing something right. You know,
you got some big dates coming up. Runaway June is on the horizon, and we just saw them play up at a Country Fest. Lane Hardy show, Adam Culvert show, a bunch of good stuff. And I always love that, getting a chance to go in and play for another audience, because then you start to build yours, because they get a chance to see you. I mean, like, Runaway June has an audience. Maybe they're doing the opposite of what the Backstreet Boys did, like you bring the dudes in. Like, I'm not sure what I love it. I love the philosophy. But, you know, having a chance to go out and be a part of those kind of shows, you know, that helps grow your brand, helps grow your, you know, the things that you're trying to do, and get your music out there, get your merch and stuff out there, which I think is excellent. But it's got to feel good to, as much as much work as the trailer that you renovated to be a mobile stage for 2020 to 2021. It's got to feel good to get back out and be cranking things up on a stage at a venue, and going out and cranking it up live again.
Yeah, man. It's it's cool. It's cool to get back up on a big stage because we're still at a level where like we're playing stages. We're not playing bar corners anymore or anything.
Yeah.
So that's good. You always try and level up, but once you get every chance we get up on a big stage, we know to make it like, hey, we gotta make it special for everybody out there that can't forget who we are, and we've got to. How do I say this? We have to make sure the headliner is putting their work in. How do I say it? Like making sure they're worth their money, basically. Because that's what we try and do. Anytime that we play as an opener or supporting act, I think we don't really talk about it, but we know it's like that band better freaking come out and play, because if not, we're gonna smoke them.
Yeah,
like we will come out and make you earn your keep. Nothing like bad against anybody, but that's just what I want, because I want to know that we're gonna get better, and like I want people to remember our name. But it kind of sucks because I won't name names, but we had a string of shows with an artist, and I heard through the grapevine that they don't want us to open up for them anymore because, again, this is from the grapevine. I'm not saying anything that I heard from the artist directly, and it's probably their management actually, but they won't let us. They don't want us to open up for them anymore because we just kill it. We steal the show.
You set the bar up here.
Yeah.
You set the bar up here.
Yeah.
That's a tough one to get over when you're the headliner. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. We want to get all the light shows and stuff. Light shows are our next one. Like we're working on like a better stage plot and a light show to really, because we were too broke to do light shows, but now we're trying to save up some money and get some lights and get everything programmed. So, it's everything just in steps, trying to make better shows for the audience and give everything we got. But yeah, we played with Lane down in Florida. And man, he can play. Although he's young, and he's coming from the American Idol stuff. He's such a good kid, and his band's awesome, and they put on a good show. Great light show, great interaction. So he's awesome. Runaway June will be fun. That's in our hometown. Nice. They moved the fair. It used to be later. It used to be an agricultural fair, so it used to be in like September when everything's done harvesting and all the animals are ready for show, and man, now it's in July, so I'm not really sure what it's going to be like, but it'll be a great radio show. Runaway June's awesome, so we can't wait to talk to them again. And Adam Calvert too. Yeah, that's up in August 7th. Yeah, I totally forgot that one. That'll be fun too. He's a good guy. Yeah,
it's awesome, man. Well, you got shows coming up. You got new music that you've written that's going to be coming out and it's ready to hit the streams, the ways, all the places music comes out. It feels like 2021. The rest of it, we got about 5.5 months left. This is the pad. This is the launching pad that takes you guys into what 2022 can be when you have a full year of things that. And limitless potential. You can go and you can, book shows, not to worry about them, being canceled or closed or out of capacity. But I want to say thank you for telling your stories, man, because I love that aspect of the journey, as we talked about, ironically, is always the interesting part, because without the journey, you don't have the experiences, you don't have the things that help you write songs about what you're feeling, what you've seen, what you observe. So I think the journey is the best part of it. And I want people to make sure that whoever's in the chat right now, thank you all for chiming in. Go and check out Garrett Shultz on Facebook, like him on Instagram, and all the music on Amazon Music and Apple Music, all the places that the music is streamed. And go watch the damn video for Blue Collar Ways. And if you're feeling sad and you need a little pick-me-up, you want to laugh and enjoy a great song, that video will do the trick, man. But it's been great talking to you, man. I hope we can get you back on sometime soon. Get you up here to play in Wisconsin. We'll go out and we'll wreak havoc on the communities and all the things, man.
Yeah, dude, thank you so much for having me, and thanks for going over time with me too. I know, but yeah, man, I hope we get together soon and link up or whatever. But dude, thank you again for having me. You're such an awesome dude, and Great questions, by the way. Sometimes you get some interviewers with some bad questions. But you said you did radio, right? So
Yeah,
you get
20 years. And the reason, and I got out. I got out because I was sick of the 10-second interview. I'm like, how do we know anything about this person? Nothing.
yeah.
Let them tell their
Well,
stories.
I hope I was good interviewee
it was
or
great,
whatever.
man. No,
but
it was great.
But
Like I
thank
said,
you again, man.
I love the story. I love this is songwriting. It's natural storyteller, and you're a natural storyteller, which, like I said, trajectory up in the air. Garrett Shultz on all of the social medias, and of course, follow him on all the streaming platforms as well. Let's get you back on time sometime soon. If you ever start making your way this direction, you start heading west, get a hold of me. We'll get together.
Absolutely, Coop. Thank
Awesome,
you so
brother.
much, brother.
Take care.
You have a good day.
Go get your workout in. People are waiting.
Later.
Awesome, brother. There you go. Garrett Shultz. Check him out on all the platforms to go listen to some music. Blue Collar Way is the latest one. New music coming out very soon from him as well. So thank you all for chiming in today, being a part of the show. We got a big one coming up tomorrow. Also, another former radio representative, radio personality, somebody who did it for a very long time, just like myself. Bobby Tripp is on the show tomorrow, and he's going to be live in the studio. We don't know. There's going to be beers and maybe some booze, and we're going to talk shit about radio and all the other things that we learned in our probably 40 years of experience combined in the industry. So a big thank you out to Garrett Shultz for being on the show, and best of luck to him and the new stuff. So thank you very much for being a part of it. Hit the links. Follow us on our socials. They're all somewhere listed on this page here. Instagram, Cooperville Live, Discord, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all the places. Thank you so much for being a part of today's show. Really appreciate it. If you missed any of it, you can watch it again on YouTube, on Twitch, and of course on our Facebook page, Cooperville Live. It's been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. See you tomorrow.